Ben Bernanke gives his much-awaited speech in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, saying the Fed is willing to step in if there's a need be to promote a stronger recovery. The Fed's meeting in September is now 2 days instead of 1. Alec, is this a green light for QE3, a green light for some kind of stimulus in some kind of fashion, or a green light for some other tool that we don't know at this point?
I think at this point, there's a lot of uncertainty about exactly what it does mean. I think, on the one hand, initially, I think investors today were disappointed that we didn't get more urgency, more detail. But then as people read through the text, I think they realized that there is an opportunity for more details on this pretty soon at the September meeting. I think given the weakness in the economy and the problems in Europe, there is a sense of urgency among investors for additional action. But I think the chairman left the door open for that. He may not have given investors quite what they wanted when they wanted it, but he did leave the door open, and I think that's what led to the stabilization in the market here today.
So what comes out of the door then in September? Because we did see 3 Fed dissenters in the last meeting just about keeping interest rates low until the mid-2013.
Some people are calling it QE 2.5, where they adjust their maturities. So in other words, they start selling they start buying bonds at the long end of the curve and selling bonds at the short end. So they keep the Fed balance sheet stable. But that's one of the things that's out there. The market's worried enough about a recession. They want to know that somebody's at the wheel. I think Bernanke did enough today to give them that reassurance. But certainly there's a tremendous amount of uncertainty as to exactly what they're going to do. And I think time will tell. The other thing to keep in mind that I thought was noteworthy in Bernanke's speech today that a lot of people haven't picked up on, he did mention that fiscal stimulus is more urgent than ever. And I think given the dysfunction in Washington, investors aren't really jumping all over that because they're worried, well, even if Bernanke thinks we should have more fiscal stimulus to right the economy, will a dysfunctional Congress be able to agree on anything? But I think we will be hearing more from the president probably before the next Fed meeting. So there'll be a political angle, a fiscal congressional angle to this.
Now, I also heard that a good option was to sell shorter term securities and then buy longer term securities. Do you think that's going to be enough? Is that going to make the difference?
Well, I think given that interest rates are already at record lows, I think there is some understandable skepticism as to whether bringing long rates at 218 down even lower is going to do a heck of a lot. So I'm hoping they'll take a bit more of an outside of the box approach. Obviously, it's very hard to game exactly what it might be. I mean, certainly something that's not within the Fed's purview, but something that we would welcome would be incentivizing companies to repatriate the $1 trillion that they have offshore. Most of that is with large tech companies, by the way. And right now they have to pay a 35% tax on that money when they repatriate it, so they don't.
So paying taxes in some kind of capacity.
Well, yeah, specifically in that way, and tying it specifically to job creation and capital expenditure. So I think the political climate is ripe for some kind of real original thinking. I think investors have really lost faith in the Washington process, and that's something that I think would really give the market a boost.